Hello there, friends. It's Jackie Ballhays from Clomp Stampers. Today we're making Christmas cards. I have 6 different ones to share with you that are super easy, and it's all made using a pack of designer series paper and then just adding a greeting. The main thing I want to teach you is how to cut your designer series paper to make these cards. And after that, once you see how easy it is to cut them, you're going to be whipping out a bunch of Christmas cards easily with not a lot of supplies. So let's flip the camera down and let's get to work. Now, these might be the easiest Christmas cards you're going to see and be able to make, but I think they're adorable. And part of the reason they're adorable is because we're using this One Horse Open Sleigh designer series paper. Now, this is not in the catalog, so you're going to have to check out the online exclusive section of the Stampin' Up! Website to find it. Hopefully, it's still available. When I filmed this, it was. Now, what I like about it is you have all of these beautiful like watercolor drawn images on one side, but then when you flip it over, you have some fantastic red and blue and green, even a little bit of I think wood grain. I know there's one that's a darker wood grain, but all these more neutral colors that you can use on any cards. But what I want to focus on today is showing you how to use these pretty designs on the other side for your Christmas cards. Now, people tell me all the time they're afraid to cut their paper or they don't know where to start. So you have a 6x6 piece. Where do you start to be able to use that image? And that's what we're going to do today. I have pulled out, I think, 6 different pieces of the paper to show you how to make 6 different cards from 6 different sheets. So we're not going to do a lot of stamping because I want to focus on, getting the most out of your paper. So let's start with this one. Now, some of these papers you can cut in half and get 2 cards out of. This one is really kind of a 1-card image, we're going to call it. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and start with a piece of crumb cake here, and 8.5 by 11. And we're just going to cut this in half at 5.5. So that'll give me 2 card bases. We'll use one for this card, and then we'll use one on another one of the cards I have to share with you. Now for this one, I really want to maximize the scene on this. So I'm going to just cut this down to 4 by 5.25. So when I start, I always take it and I'm like, okay, if I go 4, you can see here where it's going to cut, but I think I want a little bit more of that tree. So I'm going to slide it this way and cut, and then I'm going to flip this way and cut to get down to my 4. So it's not like I took an even, just 4 off of one end. Now, don't worry, I cut these pieces off. These are great red pieces, so save these for scraps for other things. And then this direction, I need it to be 5.25. So again, I have to kind of look at it and say, what do I want my image to be? So I think we're going to just kind of cut off part from that side, get a little bit of that trunk off there, and then flip it this way. And we're going to come out to 5.25. So you can see we've got some weird little pieces here, but those will be perfect for all different things. But now I've got this pretty front that will be look really nice to just go ahead and add it to that card base. And then all I'm going to have to do is add a greeting on here, and I'll have a quick and easy Christmas card. So cut it down to 4 by 5.25. Okay, and then what I'm going to do for my greetings is use the stamp set Brightest Glow. This one has some great words to put on the front of your card as well as the inside of your card. Now, since today we're really focusing on cutting, I actually stamped this already and just trimmed it down to size. And then I'm going to, let's see, I think regular size dimensionals will fit just barely. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and stick some dimensionals on there. We'll peel those off. And then I always like, where would this look the best? And for this one, I kind of thought it would look really nice just down at the bottom here. So we're keeping this card just really simple, but look at how pretty that is. Now here is the one I made when I was first playing. And then you can see I stuck a piece of 4 by 5.25 on the inside. I stamped a greeting from that same stamp set. Everything's from that same stamp set. And then here is just a piece of this red that I cut off, but it makes just a really nice border on the inside. So there's your first Christmas card out of this pack of paper. So let me show you how to cut another one. Let's use this one because the kind of the principle on this one is a lot the same. So we're going to go ahead and cut off of this side, but I want to have a little bit more of a border on this one. So we're going to cut down to 5 instead of 5 1/4. So I'm like, okay, I always lay this down and think, is that where I want it to cut? Yeah, because I don't really want to cut my cabin off. So there is that. We've got some green. And then for the top of it, we're going to do kind of the same thing because we need this to be 3 by 3/4. So it's like, do I want a little bit more of that glow? Let's see. This is hard because this is a pretty big one. So sometimes I end up flipping it around a couple of times to get it cut down to where I want. So there's my focal point. So again, this one is going to be 5 by 3 3/4. So it's a little bit smaller, but I thought because this piece is so dark, okay, those blues are really darker colors, I wanted to get everything to pop by putting a layer of white underneath it. And then we're going to put it onto this boho blue because I think that just really makes that color pop. I wonder if that's cut the right size. That looks, let me look. That piece is actually big. Let's slide this over here. It's not 5 1/2. I pulled it out of my stash and I thought it was 5 1/2. So we're going to end up trimming. There we go. We're fixed. So there is that one. And you can see I just added a greeting onto this one as well from that stamp set. Now for several greetings, I did use my, I keep forgetting what these are called. Nested Essential Dies. I really like this one. So wishing you a season of hope and light. Just cut it out with that die. And then on the inside, I did a layer again. There's just a few more layers on here. There's some of that green in our greeting. But there is another way to use another sheet of that 6 by 6 designer series paper. So there's Christmas card number 2. Now this piece is so cute and I want to make sure to really save the deer on that one. So again, I like that look of the 3 3/4. So I'm like, I look and I'm like, ooh, that's cutting it a little close. We need a little bit of that tree. So let's go ahead and cut that much. Ooh, I might have, it'll be okay. Can't really go wrong as long as you don't cut the deer off on this one. So we're gonna cut from that side. So we got 3 3/4. And then again, I want this to be down to 5. So we'll take a little bit off the bottom and let's see if we like that. And then that looks good, a little bit off the top. So there we have our little deer. That's gonna be the focal point. And again, we're gonna just go ahead and stick this onto a piece that's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Now, all of these cards that I'm showing you will be pictured over on my website, and I will list all the measurements so you will know what size I cut everything, as well as the complete list of supplies. So if you'd like to order everything to make these really easy Christmas cards, you can do that. So I just think they're adorable and super easy, just to make a bunch of them. And I think you get 4 sheets of each print in that pack of designer series paper. So each dimensional backing, which means that like this one where you're using the whole 6 by 6, you would get 4 of that design. So we're gonna go ahead, stick that on there. And then again, here's my finished one. And you can see I just took a greeting, did a little linen bow on there just to add a little bit of something. And the inside is just that piece of white. There's some of that green. Was the green? Let's look. Yep. So there was just another one of those scraps. So that's just a great way to use those scraps. And then Merry Christmas on the side. So there is our 3rd Christmas card out of this pack of designer series paper. Okay, we got scraps of designer series paper everywhere. So for this one, we've got the one little fox on there. So he definitely has to stay. So if I cut down to 3/4 on this side, I'm playing around here. Let's just take a smidgen off there. That should be good. And then again, we're gonna go to that 3 3/4. And then we need it to be 5. I'm gonna take just a little bit off the bottom. We don't want them too far down, but I wanna save as much of this tree as I can. So there is that. And we're gonna put this one onto a piece of Cajun Craze. So I think I cut that right. Ooh, look at the pretty brown wood tone on the back of this one. You know, we cut that one a little bit bigger, so let's center that. There we go. Now for this one, because we have this really nice kind of wood grain, and I think it looks so nice with that, what I did was I took my card base, okay, that 8.5 by 11, cut in half, okay, to make our card base. And then this piece, let's cut this down to 5.5, so it's just as long as our card. And I'm gonna take it and glue it right onto that card base. So you can see here where I'm really using a lot of this 6x6 piece. You know, even though we're kind of cutting the main image out, but then these scraps that we cut off work perfect. And then this one can go on there like so. So there's that one. Now let me pull this in where I finished it. Again, I added linen bow there, wrapped it around before I adhered it down. And then there's a greeting. And on the inside, there's a little bit more of that paper. So again, you can see how simple that is. So there's card number 4. Now for number 5, we're actually going to make 2 cards at one time using this piece, because I thought this was pretty, you know, evenly matched all the way across. And so since it was 6, I decided to just cut it down the middle at 3, and then we're gonna cut it down to 5.5. So it's like, do I want to cut from the top or do I want to cut from the bottom? So I think we'll just do the bottom on both of these. So we're cutting it to 5.5. And then for this one, we're gonna bring in the cards. So here I just took those pieces, layered it with a little bit more blue, added some linen thread. You know what, I didn't finish the insides of these, and added a greeting. So you can see there where you get 2 pieces or 2 cards out of that one 6x6 piece. And then my final design, and again, let's not do that because otherwise I like to keep my videos short. Here's another one that works really good. Cut it in half so you have 6, then cut it down to 5.5, add a greeting. This one, you could put some linen thread on here as well, but I just kept it super simple. You can see the greetings on the inside. So there you go, 6 different designs, all made out of that one package of designer series paper. You know, you could make 20 or 30 or 40, however many cards you need. Really easy. I think they're beautiful cards and they were a lot of fun to make. So I hope you enjoyed the ideas and you're not afraid to cut your designer series paper and use it as the focal point of your card. So if you have any questions, make sure to reach out. I'm here to help you answer your questions. I'd love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Make sure to follow the link in the video description for pictures of these along with all the measurements and then the supplies so that you can order them if you'd like to make these as well. Thanks for watching. We'll stamp again real soon. Have a stamp happy day.